I'm Sam Peterson. I'm an old gay trans man with bad teeth. And I'm the author of two books, Trunky, Transgender Junkie, and Sugar, a Memoir of Craving. And I love knives. Ah, and I'm not here to rate them or show you the newest, the latest. There are a lot of people on the internet who do that and do it really well. What I am here to do is to queerly share my queer love of knives with you. Knives, knives, knives. I just inventoried my knives for the sake of enjoying what I have rather than spending more on something new. Much of my collection can be divided into three steels: M390, S35VN, and 154 CM. None of the other steels even come close to the percentage that is these three steels, which are 17.5, 16, and 15% respectively. Needless to say, there is a smattering of S90V, 14C, MagnaCut, Vanex, and even stainless steel. I suspect other folks' collection would be similar. We're all buying a lot of the same stuff, especially those of us shopping under the $200 range. I've been surprised to see expensive blades with low-grade steels, but I guess I don't fully understand the complexities of buying a custom blade. I only have one custom, and it's made from this weird fixed blade steel. I decided to investigate what was driving the compulsion to purchase knives. Knives I could ill afford, and discovered that for me, it's an overcompensation for boy things that I wasn't allowed access to. My poor classically gay brother got the G.I. Joes and the Bullworker chest exerciser. What were my parents thinking? In any event, I played with all the toys that he didn't want, but I was often denied or just plain knew not to ask for toys and clothing that were for boys. There's a lot of longing and empty closet space in there. I suspect with shopping for anything, there is just a straight up addictive neurochemical hit to it. But buying knives has layers. For me, it absolutely speaks to my masculine soul in much the same way G.I. Joes did for me and not for my brother. I fucking love me some G.I. Joes. Something about folders in particular. Anyway, I digress. What I was gonna say was that I'm learning to do several things. One is to hold off. If I go through the whole process of putting something in my shopping cart and nearly checking out, but pulling out at the last minute, I get the pleasure without any of the pain of a suffering bank account. I know. Sam, you say, pulling out at the last minute is horrible. I get it. So here's another trick I learned. This is from a very smart lady I regard as a mentor, my friend Pam. Pam used to do this with her kids when she was a single mom and couldn't afford every new toy and fad that came her kids' way. It was always something all the time, the new thing. So she had them write it down on a piece of paper with all their reasons for wanting that particular toy and putting it on their mantle. And in a week's time, if they took that piece of paper off the mantle and all those reasons were still the same and they still wanted it, then maybe she could, find a way to get it for them. But most of the time, she says, they forgot why it was they even wanted it, or they forgot that the piece of paper was on the mantle entirely. This, I feel, is a great exercise in restraint. A lot of knives pass me by that feel urgent. they're going to be gone in a week's time. They're going to be sold out as soon as they become available. They'll never be available in that steel again, for instance, or it's just the newest, most intriguing knife of the week. I can't buy every knife that comes by my purview. I just can't. So I'm going to miss a ton of knives anyway. Therefore, putting something on the shelf for a week, even if that object is guaranteed to be gone in that amount of time, gives me the breathing room to acknowledge that future me will suffer the consequences of current me's poor impulse control. It's a great gift to future Sam to not heap debt on him. I appreciate that, Sam from the past. I really do. I need all the tricks. Knives are so compelling. And a little bit competitive, too. Part of me feels like there's some guy or gal out there who's getting all the things. And that's not fair. This is 6-year-old thinking. I'm a 62-year-old man person. I really gotta put the reins on myself. Jesus Christ, I've given up smoking, drinking. I've stopped eating pills, smoking rocks, injecting powders. So how come it's so hard to quit a dang knife? None of those things came without some struggle, although some were certainly easier than others. I gave up smoking because I was tired of getting sick all the time. It wasn't that bad giving it up because I was too sick to smoke anyway. A true smoker would have cranked through, you say, and you're probably right. I know some people who would power smoke through pneumonia. What I am is a real former drug addict, and that shit had to nearly kill me before I could let it go. Knives are just things. Just things. Just objects. I'm going to have to find another way to soothe this manly chasm, this wound created by society and enforced by parents, by teachers, by legislators, and even by friends. I need to get into making things, like, to really fill that gap. I need to get into, like, chipping away at stone and making my own arrowheads. In the meantime, I'll just put this little piece of paper on the mantle.